If you want good quality phone cases, make sure to check out Ferrari. You find their helmet collection with the current and classic F1 drivers like Ayrton Senna and Niki Lauda. The shipping is free and you can track your order as well. Available for iPhone, Samsung, Huawei and OnePlus. If you want to help me out and get a shout out on my Instagram page, use my link in the description below. What's up guys, my name is Tom, welcome back to another video. Here back to my F1 2019 career mode episode 20, and today is the USA Grand Prix. I said I would post this episode on Friday, unfortunately I didn't have time, so apologies to you guys, but if you haven't watched the previous episode I highly recommend to go check it out. And we have our 2 engine upgrades ready for this weekend's USA Grand Prix, which is going to be a nice help, especially once we get to the DRS straight, to that huge straight on the second sector. In the performance shot, now is Racing Point that is the best car in terms of the midfield, and we are level with Alfa Romeo, but the advantage goes to Alfa Romeo by like a pixel or so. Heading to this weekend's USA Grand Prix, we'll see what we can do. Pace has been a little bit shaky on qualifying, but things can be different once we get to qualifying and in the race as well. So without further ado, let's see how we do in one lap pace.
We're expecting qualifying to start any minute here in Austin, Texas, where drivers will be hoping to top the timesheets today and be ready for tomorrow's US Grand Prix.
Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction, and over the course of a lap it's easy to get that balance wrong, and that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now and it never gets any easier.
And here we are finishing our first lap on the Toro Rosso, exceeding a little bit the track limits. I always very tempting on that corner to extending the track limit, so we have to watch that once we do the laps across the line as a 133.2, and at the moment we are in P4, but I decided to go once again, just do a cool down lap and then do another lap. Sometimes I do that and open the DRS, going to improve by 2 tenths, not the best exit, and we improve just 1 position in P10, and we are forced at the end of the section to do another lap because we are in the danger zone. We're not on the knocked out zone, but we are very close to that, P14, so head through the last corner. Now we're improving substantially by 4 tenths, open the DRS across the line, and it's going to be enough to put us into Q2 by being P7, so things starting very well at the moment. Pace of the qualifying seems to be pretty decent at the moment. Our teammate Lucas Weber made it through as well, so things are looking good at the moment. It probably is not going to be the pace for the race because our car is not at the best when it comes to midfield, but we'll see what we can do as the laps go by. It's early days on this episode 20 of my F1 2019 career mode, and this was one of the parts of the track where I struggle the most because it's so hard to put the brakes without locking up, and the car was always very unsettled, very shaky, like losing the back end a lot of times. But thankfully we are in the top 10 shootout by setting once again P7, and this gives me a little bit of a confidence boost. Our teammate going through as well, so maybe the Toro Rosso is a pretty decent car around the quotas, so it was a very nice surprise. As we're struggling a little bit, this car struggles now a little bit for downforce, because in terms of aero we are not the best by far. So, and in the first sector the car has been really planted, so it was a very nice surprise. But now here we are on Q3 doing our first lap was in a whole set of soft tires that we use on the Q1, I believe, so don't be surprised by the time difference on the timesheets. But now we join me on this lap that is going to be my best one. We are already improving by 1 second once we get out of turn 1, and now this is the section where the car was pretty good despite lacking a little bit of downforce according to the performance shot, and you gotta attack those corners with very aggressively, hitting the curbs. You don't worry because you're not going to be sent into Narnia. And through this section as well, a little bit of a corner cut, but yeah, I'll have to be a little bit more behave a little bit well when it comes to track limits. Locking up a little bit, this exit is absolutely vital if you want to get a good straight line speed, and we're doing so. Open the DRS, overtake mode, max revs, everything that you can get from this on the engine. And now is from here it's where starts my struggles through this track. That is this section. Once the DRS gets close, locking up a little bit, as you can see, and now this is this part that the car gets very unsettled, where we lose. Where I lost a lot of time comparing to the AI, because the back end gets absolutely very loose, improving by 1 second as we are in the closing stages on my best lap. 2 corners to go, and we have to attack this corner as well, like in the first sector, very aggressively. And now we have 1 corner left. Try to get the power down as early as you can. Eat the apex very beautifully. Open the DRS, and it's going to be, I think it was P7 once we cross the line. I can see, yes, it is P7. And this is going to be our starting position for the USA Grand Prix. Not really our starting position, because the guys ahead have some grid penalties, but this is definitely a good start for the race, where the pace was really shaky, like I said, on practice. So without further ado, let's go to the race and let's see if we can score some good points.
What fantastic enthusiasm we have for Formula One here in the United States of America. And it's an enthusiasm born from generations of memorable Grand Prix racing. Bruce McLaren took his maiden victory at Sebring way back in 1959, and John Watson's 1983 victory at Long Beach, well, that still holds the record for the lowest ever starting position for a race winner. It's the Circuit of the Americas then, situated 14 miles outside the great city of Austin. This is the 3.6-mile lap with 20 corners, 10 each to the left and to the right, and top speeds of around 200 miles per hour. Overtaking opportunities are available into turns 1 and 12, especially with that rear wing DRS wide open. Anthony Davidson, thanks for joining me once again for the Grand Prix. Now, I want to ask you about Lewis Hamilton. They've had a fantastic campaign. It's been a wonderful year, and they come into this weekend's Grand Prix as a fully deserving champion.
I agree, it's been a truly impressive season, but championship or no, I don't think they'll be gently cruising around to the finish line. In fact, with points no longer a concern, there's a lot less to risk, so we may even see a more aggressive approach.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Hamilton, Pierre Gasly, Thomas, Weber, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, and Devon Butler. Perez, Stroll, Valtteri Bottas. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Russell, Magnussen, Kubica, Roman Grosjean and Nico Hülkenberg. Norris and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Thanks to a penalty of Valtteri Bottas, we are starting in P6, so we're starting in the inside side of the track, which is not the best place to start at Cote. I always prefer the outside side, but welcome guys. It's going to be a soft medium strategy, but I decided to change to the 2-stop because last time in Mexico the 1-stop didn't go very well, and you guys know that the hard tire is an awful tire to race, so I decided to go to the 2-stop, try to take a little bit of a gamble, try to go with the 2-stop. We're going to make some overtakes, thankfully, because these guys, a lot of guys probably are going to be on the 1-stop, but then 2-stop as well. But I don't know what strategy is going to work the best, but I think it's going to be the 2-stop. We'll see as we get ready to the start of the USA Grand Prix. 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. It was a very good initial getaway against Pierre Gasly, but then we bogged down a little bit on 4th gear as we go into turn 1. Can we make something on the Red Bull? We're going down off the inside. I shouldn't do this because we are in the same family. A little bit of tiny contact, banging wheel, a little bit to wheels. He gets the position back, but most importantly, we are best of the race of this USA Grand Prix. There's some side-by-side action between these two guys, and it's between the Mercedes of Hamilton, Verstappen and Leclerc. At the moment we remain in P6, and these guys probably now are going to pull away, and now Raikkonen is promoted to P7. One thing that I forgot to say is that I couldn't get the replays of this episode. Unfortunately I didn't have time, but we're going to press on because Raikkonen is really close. Can he try something on the inside? No, and he stays out, and we move forward on to lap 6, all the way to lap 6, where we've been controlling the race. And Ricciardo is out of the race. I think it's the second retirement of the Aussie with Racing Point in my career mode. But we're going to press on lap 7, where the tires are starting to wear a lot. And as you can see, I'm forming a little bit of a train, and Raikkonen is really close. But thankfully, we managed to have a good straight line speed as we go through the straight. And now on lap 8, we're going to pit. As you can see, I'm losing the back end like crazy, and that's what I'm saying when the car gets very unsettled. I locked up. It's very easy to lock up on that corner, and then the back end gets away, and it's very easy to lose time on that. But we're going to pit and set a brand new set of soft tires, and at the moment we are in last place. No, we are not, because Kubica is following us during the pit stop phase, and now we're going to try to get an undercut on these guys and try to pull away, because tire wear was absolutely awful on the first stint. The tire wear was like 63%, the maximum. I think you saw in the MFD once we were going down to the pit lane, but we are overtaking some guys. P13 at the moment, as Magnussen is ahead of us, but he has to make their stops. Some guys have to make their stops. And Raikkonen, I believe, is in a one stop. He's on the hard tires. Weber is in the same boat as me, so he's going to be the two stop. There are some guys that are going to make a better strategy than mine. That is starting on the softs and go to the mediums. But I couldn't be. It wouldn't be possible for me to make that strategy because, like I said, tire wear is absolutely awful, and I had to stretch the soft tires like 5 or 6 more laps, and that would be impossible. So we have to go with the two stop. But I think it can be a very good, a very viable strategy for this race. And we got close to these guys because we made an absolutely huge undercut, and there goes Verstappen on the inside of Leclerc, and this is going to allow us to catch them. But we're watching this battle just to see that we were getting closer to these guys, and Weber actually managed to overtake Raikkonen, because Raikkonen had to go longer to fit the hard tires. And now we are in P5 because Pierre Gasly has pitted, and we jumped the Red Bull, which was pretty interesting, and we move forward on to lap 6. That is really on our tail, but we're not going to hold him up because we're going to stop and to do our final stop of the day. That is going to be for the medium tires, and in this thing that was a little bit more cautious, a little bit more calm with the steering. But the tire wear, as you can see, yes, it was better comparing with the first stint, but still it was very pretty bad. So to stop around Kota maybe is the best way to go. I think it would be worse if we went to the one stop, especially fitting the hard tires. Like I said in the beginning of the race, the hard tire is an awful tire to race. No one wants to get on the hard tires. Speaking of hard tires, Magnussen in dead last in the home Grand Prix with Haas, which should be a little bit depressed. It should be very depressed in that cockpit. And he's on the hard tire. We have the better pace against this American car. Open the DRS. We're going to try to go round the outside, but he gets the better braking despite that. Despite having the better grip against the Haas, and he gets that position back, but then he has a huge fishtail on that Haas Ferrari, and we go on the inside and we take P16, but it should be a net P7. It depends how much time we're going to lose against these guys, because some guys have already made their stops, and we have to make the moves on track, not on the strategy, I should say. And there's a huge train, and I can tell you that it's led by the Alfa Romeo of Danik Kvyat, and Norris getting so slow that we're going to try to make something. It's on the soft tire, so he's in a different strategy as mine. I don't know what strategy is, maybe a soft medium strategy, but I tried to overtake him. It was maybe a little bit silly, but remember, we can't lose time with these guys, because there's so many different strategies in this race, and we can't trust in these guys. And we're going to now on the outside of the British, and we made the move. So, and there's Valtteri Bottas stuck a bit behind these guys on P11 now. Once we get on to lap 19 with 12 laps to go, and he's going on the inside of Lance Stroll. Now Stroll is trying to go right outside of Danik Kvyat. This is absolutely amazing. Mercedes getting stuck. A lot of strategies, a lot of battling with the midfield, and this is a great recipe for an exciting Grand Prix. And Bottas is behind the Kvyat. Now he's going on the inside because he's getting a slipstream. Kvyat is very slow on the straight, despite with the DRS open, is with a huge disadvantage. So I believe that is with an engine problem. Then look how slow he is through the long right-hander. We're going side by side as we go through the S session. We're going to have the inside line. We're going to try just to squeeze a little bit, just to make sure that it doesn't come back. And we take P11 on this USA Grand Prix with just 9 laps to go, and the points are really on our side. Going purple on the second sector as we are on lap 22, and we're going to with the DRS open. It's going to be a pretty easy move on the racing point of Lance Stroll, and we are in the point on lap 22, and Bottas now is trying something, really getting on the gearbox of the Renault of Sergio Perez, and definitely now setting personal bests once we get on the clean air, and we are on the next lap, lap 23, and we are on the gearbox of Sergio Perez, DRS open, overtake mode, and we're going on the outside. He's going to resist and he's going to try to fight back by going on the inside, but we have the better traction against the whole medium tires of the Mexican, and we are in P9. And we skip forward on to lap 25, and this is very interesting because we're catching Valtteri Bottas, so I don't know if that Mercedes is with an engine problem, but we're catching the Finn. And I wonder if he has damage for all that squabbling with the midfield cars. And we are on striking distance of DRS. We're going overtake mode, rich mix, and we're going to overtake a Mercedes on season 1 in a Toro Rosso of this USA Grand Prix. Who would have thought that? Overtaking a Mercedes. And me shaking the wheel with happiness because we overtook a Mercedes in the Toro Rosso, and this is season 1, ladies and gentlemen. And now this is going down to the wire if we want to get P7, because Devin Butler, absolutely kudos to him because he's in P7 at the moment. He made a one-stop strategy work. He was knocked out of K2, and he is best of the rest now, but we're going to try to stop him by going on the slipstream. This is the last lap, remember, so this is goes down to the wire. He gets the better braking. Lewis Hamilton wins the Grand Prix, but we have the very tasty battle with Devin Butler, Formula F2 rival, going on the inside, locked up a little bit, try to avoid contact. We're going to squeeze him, and we take P7. He's not back of the rest actually because it's Raikkonen, but we're going to bottle on the long left-hander, and Butler is going to come back, and he gets a pretty decent exit. It was a stupid mistake by me, and he's going to get P7 by going running outside of us. And unfortunately, Devin Butler is going to get P7. Oh, absolutely outbreak, but absolutely bottled it. And we are running out of fuel, as you can see. We are in low fuel mode, and we're going slowly. We're limping onto the track, and unfortunately Bottas overtook us. Oh man.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
I'm still broken because it was an easy move on Butler, but then I got nervous. I was afraid of locking up, and I cracked under pressure. I bottled it, and then Bottas overtook us thanks to running out of fuel. But regardless, it's points for Toro Rosso, double points, and we are in P7. We remain our position, very solid P7. Sergio Perez still with some distance over Perez, and Weber is getting closer to him, so he has a chance to overtake him and be a Toro Rosso 1-2 on the midfield, and we maintain the P4 on the standings. But that has been the episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to smash like and subscribe to never see plenty more Formula 1 content. It really motivates me to make more. But now we're going to buy 2 major upgrades, and they should be ready for the season finale at Yas Marina in Abu Dhabi. In the next episode, at the end of the Brazilian Grand Prix, we're going to adapt the 2 engine parts that have to be adapted because of the regulation change, sorry. So that has been the episode, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Things are going really good. We are always scoring points on the race. The last time that we didn't score points was at China, so we've been really consistent, and P7 probably is going to be our reward because look at the gap between me and Sergio Perez, but you never know because it's his Formula 1. Weber can get him because he's getting closer to him. We'll see how the races go by with 2 races to go once we get to the season 1 finale. So guys, that has been the video. Make sure to smash like and subscribe and if like I said a few moments ago. But now it's time to say goodbye. My name's Tom, and I'll see you guys for a brand new video next time. But for now, it's goodbye.